Hi, this is Dr. Ross Carter with the Medical Influencers and the Regenerative Warriors Show. I want to introduce my guests today, Megan King and Dr. Eric Nofsinger. Welcome to the show today.
Thank you very much.
Today is going to be a fascinating topic. It's one that is affecting so many people today, and it is about sleep. Now, everybody has to sleep, and when I was last reading the statistics, it's staggering the number of people that have problems with insomnia, as well as chronic insomnia. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. It was like over 30% of North Americans. Is it somewhere in that range of people that have problems with sleep or insomnia?
You know, it's a huge number of individuals. It's a national problem in the United States as well as a global problem. And there have been a lot of epidemiologic studies done trying to estimate how many people have problems. The National Sleep Foundation has regular surveys that they do, and they've estimated that over 50% of individuals, so 150 million people or more in the United States, have had troubles sleeping at one point or another in their lives. If you get down to the level of how many individuals might be diagnosed with clinical insomnia that might go to a doctor, it could be close to 20% or so, which is still an extraordinarily high number. So it's obviously, if you mentioned, it affects everybody because everybody sleeps, and difficulties with sleep are very universal.
Can you tell us a little bit about your background and how you got involved into this industry?
Sure, I'm happy to. My name's Eric Nofsinger. I'm currently serve as the Chief Medical Officer in the company, overseeing any of the clinical studies and the clinical aspects in the company. I've had a long-standing interest in sleep research, and in sleep medicine. I was a professor in the Department of Psychiatry and Sleep Medicine at the University of Pittsburgh School of Medicine, a career NIH-funded investigator, and I developed methods to image brain function during sleep to better understand kind of the basic mechanisms of sleep as to why people sleep well or why people don't sleep well at nighttime. I've published a lot of articles, book chapters, as well as a textbook in the area, and have served as the president of the Sleep Research Society in the United States.
Basically, your concept is using cold to lower the inflammation in the frontal lobe, correct? Basically, where did that idea come from? How did you think of that or come up with the concept?
Yeah, so a little bit of a story. I'll give you the short version. And so I've spent about 30 years of my life in academic medicine as a professor at the University of Pittsburgh, and I treated all kinds of individuals with sleeplessness and insomnia. And I also had a very active research program, and the research program focused on trying to understand what's happening in the brain, if you will, of individuals who both sleep well at nighttime and also who struggle with sleeping. We did this using brain imaging techniques. So we did brain imaging studies of individuals when they were asleep at nighttime. And we found that healthy individuals, in order for them to go into a deep restorative sleep, their minds have to settle down, their brains have to settle down, and they have to have a reduction in metabolism in the brain. In one area of the brain that was very, very important is the area of the frontal cortex. That's the part of the brain that sits right behind the forehead. It's also our executive brain. It's the part of our brain we use the most when we're awake, but when we're asleep at nighttime, it needs to rest the most. So in healthy sleepers, we found that metabolism in the frontal cortex declined dramatically when they went into a deep sleep at nighttime. And unfortunately, when we started looking at individuals with sleeplessness or insomnia, what we found is that their minds continued to be too active. The frontal cortex continued to have too high of a level of metabolism, if you will, and it correlated with their clinical complaints that, doc, I just can't shut my mind off. I just can't settle down. I can't stop all of these thoughts that just keep coming to me at nighttime. So I went back in my medical training and tried to remember, what can we do that might impact brain function? So this is where kind of the invention came about. And I recalled early in my training and when I was in various disciplines, that the concept of cooling, or cerebral hypothermia, as it's called in many other aspects of medicine, is used to protect the brain. It's also used to reduce activity in certain parts of the brain. So for example, if somebody has a stroke, or if somebody has a brain injury, or if somebody is going through cardiothoracic surgery, physicians use the concept of cooling brain tissue to reduce activity, to reduce metabolism. So I knew that cooling the brain was helpful, and it also kind of helped to reduce activity. So then the real question for insomnia sufferers came, can we use an external device to kind of get that cooling stimulus down into the superficial layers of the brain to help the brain to settle down and to relax and to drift into a more comfortable sleep at nighttime. So that's kind of where the idea came from. It's recognizing what the problem was, and then understanding, the various techniques that have been used in medicine previously, and then applying it in a novel therapeutic manner.
So that's where it came from. And so the idea is to, by decreasing the inflammation or or cooling the area, it will slow the thought process, as well as decrease if you're not thinking as much, then is it easier for the body to go into the delta state or change the different states to actually fall asleep? Is that the essence?
That's correct. Yeah. So if you can reduce the metabolic activity in the frontal cortex when somebody is drifting into sleep, you can help them achieve a deeper, more restorative sleep. And what patients describe is exactly what you've mentioned. They describe that the feeling that they get when wearing this is that, all of a sudden those distracting thoughts start to fade away a little bit. They start to settle down. They start to notice maybe a deepening of their breathing. Their body is relaxing. It really is a very large kind of physiological change. One way I think about it is like if I were in a racing car, and I had it in a very, very high gear. If I were to downshift into a lower gear, that seems to be what the device is doing. It helps the body to kind of shift down, to relax, to get into that lower physiological state that, again, is more conducive to natural sleep, getting back to the concept of a natural sleep solution.
Hey, I hope you're liking this interview. I want to let you know that this device is really pretty amazing, and I use it myself. If you're interested in learning more about this device or even purchasing it, I've got a code. Well, it's really simple. Just go to this website. Can you see it? It says coolheadband.com. That's COOL headband.com. And put in the promo code Carter. That's my last name, by the way. CARTER. And that'll give you a discount. That'll give you $20 off the system if you decide you want to buy that. Look, everybody's having challenges with sleep right now, and using something that is not addictive, that doesn't cause any health problems, and it helps you sleep, I mean, it's really a no-brainer. So if you're interested in finally getting some good sleep, just go to coolheadband.com, like I said before, and you can learn more about it there, and also use my promo code Carter, and that'll give you $20 off. And listen, it's something that you'll actually use. Unlike most of the crap that you see online, this is something I use, and it works, and so you'll be very happy with this. So don't delay or forget about it. Go to coolheadband.com, and it'll redirect you to right where you need to go, and you can get one of these devices for yourself, and then you can get some good sleep tonight. So anyway, take care. Have you noticed that a difference of using it, say, prior to going to bed or while you're sleeping? Is it better to do one or the other, or both, or what have you found there?
What we find is, and we also have some coaches that are able to work with individuals to tailor the specific treatment to their own unique individual needs. So for example, there's all kinds of sleeplessness. You know, some people only have trouble falling asleep. Some people only have trouble maintaining sleep across the nighttime. And so we really work with individuals to use the device to meet their own needs. The vast majority of people, I think, put it on about 20 to 30 minutes before they get into bed to start that winding down process. And then they'll leave it on throughout the nighttime, taking it off in the morning when they get up. There are individuals who just have trouble falling asleep, and we'll work with them so that they can just use it prior to getting into bed, but they don't necessarily have to use it the entire night. And then there's another sample of individuals that don't have any trouble falling asleep. I just talked with a gentleman the other day, who's actually a military service person, who falls asleep at the drop of the hat, but will wake up 2 to 3 hours into the night and have difficulty returning to sleep. So for that individual, for example, they may not need to go to bed with the device, because that's not really where their problem is. But if they do have an awakening in the middle of the night, they can put it on at that point in time to kind of get rid of those distracting thoughts, to help their body shift back down into kind of that natural sleep state, if you will. So we really like this ability of the device to be able to personalize it to an individual's own unique needs.
So you can use it before, all night, or actually just if you wake up and need to relax, or you have thoughts that are obsessive.
That's correct.
How do you know? I mean, I don't know if this is a good question or not, but how do I know if I have obsessive thoughts that are really contributing to the problem with my sleep? How do I know if it's that, or if it's just, I don't know if I have obsessive or if it's just normal? I mean, what is it that how can I tell which one it is?
Right. So it's probably important to describe a little bit more about the concept of insomnia or sleeplessness, and it's really a whole body phenomenon. Mm-hmm. And the idea that has been most popular in sleep medicine is this concept of hyperarousal. So insomnia individuals, or individuals with sleeplessness, have hyperarousal. So what does hyperarousal mean? So when we measure different parts of the body, that could be, their body temperature remains too high throughout the nighttime, their cortisol levels remain too high, sympathetic nervous system might remain too high throughout the nighttime. All of these things, and metabolic activity in the brain might be too high. So these are all indicative of a whole body process, if you will. So those racing thoughts, or those fast thoughts that people might have at nighttime, that's just one component of the overall kind of sleeplessness product, And I would say 60 to 70% of individuals do have those distracting thoughts, but there are other people that have just general physiological hyperarousal. And the device is actually helpful for all of these different things. It helps change the physiology in a manner that allows people to relax and get into a deeper sleep. Again, most of them will have these kind of racing thoughts, but it's also helpful for individuals who just have other aspects of this whole body hyperarousal, if you will.
That makes sense. And what about individuals that say, had been to a doctor and they had problems with sleep and they're on, a benzodiazepine or some other sleep medications? Is this a product that is helpful or not helpful or counteractive, or what? Can it help people that have these kind of they're taking medicine to induce that sleep? Can it help them get off medications? What's your thoughts on that?
No, this is a great question because, before this device became available, and there is a prescription form that has been FDA cleared, and it's the only medical device really that's been FDA cleared for the management of insomnia. But before this device, really all we had were medications, sleeping pills, if you will. And so doctors and patients have noted for a long time that sleeping pills are not necessarily the best thing for all individuals. The FDA has put out a number of warning statements about sleeping pills because they can have daytime kind of carryover effects. Drowsy driving, being too sleepy at the wheel is probably the most worrisome thing with the use of these medications. Yeah. They can be habit forming, addictive. People can get physiologically dependent. So a lot of doctors and patients, have been looking for years for a more natural way to treat their sleep problems. So a lot of people that are starting on the device have been put on medication. Some of them would like to continue on the medication and maybe are not getting maximal benefit from the medication. Mm-hmm. Other people have been on the pills and really that's not their preference, but it's the only thing that they know, and they've kind of, it's become a habit for them. So they do have questions, can I go off of it? One of the things that we recommend is if somebody is on a medication and they would like to try to, switch over to something more natural, we usually recommend that they continue with the medication and then add on the device for a period of time, maybe a month or so. And it takes a little bit of time to get adjusted to, the device itself and wearing it and for it to have its maximal impact. But if they use the combination treatment for about a month period of time, then what they can do is kind of very slowly start to taper themselves off of the hypnotic medication. They still have the device in place providing some protection. And we have found that some individuals are able to lower their medication dosage, maybe by half. Some individuals are able to get off of them entirely. Other individuals are able to kind of use both of them, but maybe in a reduced form. So again, it's kind of a personal thing, and patients can work with their doctor in how to get off of the sleeping pills and over onto a kind of a new approach to treating their sleep problems.
Hey, I hope you're liking this interview. I want to let you know that this device is really pretty amazing, and I use it myself. If you're interested in learning more about this device or even purchasing it, I've got a code. Well, it's really simple. Just go to this website. Can you see it? It says coolheadband.com. That's COOL headband.com. And put in the promo code Carter. That's my last name, by the way. CARTER. And that'll give you a discount. That'll give you $20 off the system if you decide you want to buy that. Look, everybody's having challenges with sleep right now. and using something that is not addictive, that doesn't cause any health problems, and it helps you sleep, I mean, it's really a no-brainer. So if you're interested in finally getting some good sleep, just go to coolheadband.com, like I said before, and you can learn more about it there, and also use the promo code Carter, and that'll give you $20 off. And listen, it's something that you'll actually use. Unlike most of the crap that you see online, this is something I use, and it works, and so you'll be very happy with this. So don't delay or forget about it. Go to coolheadband.com, and it'll redirect you to right where you need to go, and you can get one of these devices for yourself, and then you can get some good sleep tonight. So anyway, take care. That's awesome news, because there's a lot of people taking medicine, especially now with all the changes in the world in this year. There's so many people that are suffering with the anxiety and stress, and they're not sleeping well because of you name COVID, as well as just just general unrest, I guess you could call it. And that you've got to have a lot more customers during this period of time needing help in this area, right?
No, it's exact. We've seen, worldwide, the studies that are looking at the impact of COVID and the pandemic and the social isolation. Lots of different factors are increasing the stress, and stress is one of the things that leads to this hyperarousal and creates the inability to sleep. So we've probably seen about a doubling, if you will, of problems with insomnia, again, both in the United States, but also in the worldwide, scientific literature. I've seen, much higher rates of insomnia, as well as a lot of other psychiatric disorders, anxiety disorders, depression, all of the things that go along with kind of this stress cycle have been increased. So we have been noticing, month over month increase in interest in what we're doing in our product, and it's I'm always puzzled as to how to look at that. It's it's a good thing from the company perspective, but it's a bad thing, worldwide, that people
Right.
are suffering. But
Yes.
we do hope that we're able to bring relief to individuals.
Can you go over how the device works and how it actually does cool the area specifically?
Sure. So we have two products right now that are currently on the market. Both can be purchased either from Amazon or other retail outlets. Our first version is called the Cool Drift Lux. It has a bedside unit. And it has a forehead pad, and connecting those two is some tubing. So the bedside unit is a kind of a cooling unit. It has thermoelectric cooling. It has a fluid reservoir. It cools the fluids, and then it pumps those cooled fluids through the tubes to channels that circulate over the forehead in the headband. It's a wearable headband that's comfortably placed by Velcro in the back of the head. It's very thin, easy to wear, move around in. So basically it's cooling fluids and circulating the fluids over the forehead, just like your head is being bathed in a cool mountain stream, if you will. It's a nice image to think about. The other model that we have is called the Cool Drift Versa. The Versa device was made in response to some consumers' questions about the original device. Some people wanted something that was a little bit lighter weight, a little bit more compact, travel friendly. They could put it in their suitcase, go on a plane, or if they wanted to use it in another room of the house and then take it with them to the bed. So it's a more lightweight friendly device that can be made very portable. So that device, the entire cooling apparatus is placed on the forehead. And our engineers spent an incredible amount of time, really talented group of engineers that constructed a device to have some cooling chips in it that attach or that go over the forehead. And so all the cooling mechanism is in the forehead. It's electrically powered. And there is a cord that connects it to a battery pack, a handheld battery pack. So there's no bedside unit. It's just a small handheld device that's connected to cooling that goes over the forehead. Again, very soft, easy to use, easy to apply, also by straps in the back of the head. Individuals can look at the two devices on our website, and we have full descriptions about which device might be better for each individual person, and it lists the strong points as well as some of the limitations. And we find that both devices really appeal to a lot of different people.
Is this correct that the one that has the bigger front unit would be more difficult, say if you're a side sleeper or somebody sleeps heavily on the bed? It would be more for somebody that sleeps on their back. Is that accurate?
So so that's good for somebody that sleeps on their back. Mm-hmm. Also, it's very easy to sleep on the side because the extra mass is all on the forward, all on the forehead side. So the side of the head is all flat and very soft. So people can still sleep on their sides, on either side. They can roll back and forth. The only position that would be challenging would be if you're a face sleeper. If you plant your face directly in your pillow, that would be a little bit challenging. But side sleepers can use this. Back sleepers can use that as well. It is a little bit quieter. The fan noise is quieter, and some people prefer that.
It's quieter for this. You mean the all-in-one is quieter than the bedside unit?
It actually, yeah, the bedside unit, there's a little bit more power that's generated to cool the fluids. Mm-hmm. And so anytime you're producing cooling through thermoelectric, there's also a little bit of heat generation. So you have to have a fan to kind of dissipate the heat. And so it's kind of a background white noise. A lot of people sleep with fans at nighttime. Sure. So it's kind of that kind of a sound. So.
Oh, that makes sense. And is there, do you work in conjunction with any other type of devices, or is this, you've got this, totally separate, and you're not working with another company to maybe with supplementation or anything else? Like even, when I first was looking for this, I found it when I was probably looking for like one of those cooling mattresses, the one that does the whole body cooling. And I didn't know if that was an area that you guys were going into, or are you're happy with your area now?
Yeah. So this is a nice technology, and we're actively talking with lots of different groups to find ways to kind of integrate this technology with other existing technologies out there. You've mentioned the cooling mattresses. Other ideas that people have had, there's the whole kind of wearable fitness tracker devices that you've got on there, and it measures what you're doing during the daytime. It measures your sleep at nighttime and different aspects of sleep. So we've had a lot of interest from these types of groups to kind of partner with them, and to we haven't made an integrated device yet, but that is a possibility as we think into the future.
Like a sleep tracking device as well, that may be put into the actual head unit, so it could be all in one piece.
Well, you could use the fitness device or the sleep tracking device to kind of as a biofeedback mechanism, if you will.
Okay.
So the depth of sleep is being picked up by a device, and then there's a feedback mechanism that could potentially go back to the cooling mechanism to modulate the cooling in relationship to the depth of sleep that somebody might get at nighttime. Again, that's down the road. That's not integrated into, but it's interesting to, these technologies are now available, and it's only a matter of time, I think, before we will have a more integrated suite of products.
Hey, I hope you're liking this interview. I want to let you know that this device is really pretty amazing, and I use it myself. If you're interested in learning more about this device or even purchasing it, I've got a code. Well, it's really simple. Just go to this website. Can you see it? It says coolheadband.com. That's COOL headband.com. And put in the promo code Carter. That's my last name, by the way. CARTER. And that'll give you a discount. That'll give you $20 off the system if you decide you want to buy that. Look, everybody's having challenges with sleep right now, and using something that is not addictive, that doesn't cause any health problems, and it helps you sleep. I mean, it's really a no-brainer. So if you're interested in finally getting some good sleep, just go to coolheadband.com, like I said before, and you can learn more about it there, and also use my promo code Carter, and that'll give you $20 off. And listen, it's something that you'll actually use. Unlike most of the crap that you see online, this is something I use, and it worked, and so you'll be very happy with this. So don't delay or forget about it. Go to coolheadband.com, and it'll redirect you to right where you need to go, and you can get one of these devices for yourself, and then you can get some good sleep tonight. So anyway, take care. Have you done anything with, let's say, sports athletes for recovery, not just to sleep, but after, an intense training, like, how they jump into, they do ice baths and stuff, but have you thought about that, or do you do anything with that?
So we have, this is early, but we do have some individuals that work with professional athletes, and they have requested devices that the athletes can start to work with. So there is, we think, a whole performance aspect to this as well. So sleep is integral to performance. There's a lot of studies that help us to understand that sleep serves the purpose of consolidating memories, and especially performance kind of sports related types of movements. All these get consolidated and replayed while we're asleep at nighttime. If we can enhance that aspect of our life, we might lead to better performance during the daytime. So it's a very active area that we're looking into, and our hope is that we'll get some positive gains from some of these professional athletes, and we'll hear more about it.
Have you had any, I guess, people that maybe this would not be the best thing for them? Are there any like contraindications or anything in that regards to say that you should not do this right now, or something to that effect?
Yeah. So it brings up an interesting question on kind of side effects of different therapies, and so that was actually the downside of all of the pill therapies, the hypnotic therapies, is that doctors were concerned about safety.
Yes.
Patients were concerned about safety. So we did over 3,800 nights use with the device, looking at what side effects were noted with the use of the device. And it was like less than 0% across the board on, anything and everything. So when the FDA was evaluating our product, they had zero questions on safety. They knew that cooling was actually a good thing and is not going to impact someone negatively. The only groups that we did raise, there are some individuals who have high sensitivities to cold.
Okay.
There's a disorder called Raynaud's phenomenon, which is when people are exposed to cold and their hands become blue.
Yeah.
So it's just a known group of individuals. Those are people that probably should not try a cooling therapy. But that's a very small percentage of the population. Aside from that, we really have not seen adverse side effects from the use of the device.
Amazing, amazing. Well, I think I've got all my answers to the questions that I mainly had. Am I missing anything that you'd like to mention that I haven't spoke about?
I think probably we're excited by a couple of recent findings. We continue to do research in different populations. There are two populations that we've done research on. We presented these scientific information at the recent national meeting of the American Academy of Sleep Medicine. One was in the area of menopause. So menopausal women will have just terrible trouble sleeping at nighttime. Mm-hmm. Sleeplessness, a lot of it is related to hot flashes, the night sweats, hot flashes that they have. So we were very excited this past year when we did a study in menopausal women. We found improvements in sleep quality. We found reductions in the severity and intensity of the hot flashes that they were experiencing, right, both at nighttime and also during the daytime. So we're very excited that that's a population that we think that this device is very helpful for. And then the other study that we looked at specifically were in veterans. Veterans who've had military experience, a lot of whom have post-traumatic stress disorder, anxiety disorder, mood disorders, substance use, other medical problems. It's just a very, very challenging group of individuals with sleep problems. We did a study, actually two studies in veteran populations, and this is all, you can see the data on our website. It improves sleep quality in these individuals, and also nicely during the daytime. They had reductions in the level of anxiety and reductions in the level of kind of depression or mood symptoms. So very excited. We're very interested in our military. They've served us. We want to be able to serve them. So to have something that is able to provide relief in something that impacts so many of our military service people is a great thing. That we're excited to be able to offer this to them.
So kind of a natural antidepressant for those people, I guess.
Well, whether that's, if you improve somebody's sleep at nighttime, you can improve lots of other aspects of their lives as well. Sleep is just so fundamental to how we feel during the daytime. So. Right.
Excellent. Well, the information was fascinating, and I appreciate your taking the time to discuss this with us. Anybody listening is if they haven't, if they haven't already, they need to check out the website and go look into this, because this can really make an impact and really change the life of your sleep, especially if it's causing you major issues like it is for most people. And it's all natural, which is the nicest thing. It's you're not taking a drug, and it's not something you're going to get addicted to, and it's cost effective. And it's just something that, it should be I would say in everybody's house. How's that sound? You're like, yeah, that sounds like a great idea. So you'll have, so when you have, 150 million more, orders, sorry.
We'll deal with that problem when it comes.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, fantastic. Thank you so much for your time today. And I appreciate everything, and look forward to hopefully speaking to you in the future again. I'd like to do some follow-ups because I'll probably find, get a lot of questions and things that will probably be need to be answered. So we'll might have to set up another time to talk again. So I want to thank you for your time today, and hopefully we covered everything.
Yep. Thank you very much. I appreciate being here.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks. Hey, I hope you're liking this interview. I want to let you know that this device is really pretty amazing, and I use it myself. If you're interested in learning more about this device or even purchasing it, I've got a code. Well, it's really simple. Just go to this website. Can you see it? It says coolheadband.com. That's COOL headband.com. And put in the promo code Carter. That's my last name, by the way. CARTER. And that'll give you a discount. That'll give you $20 off the system if you decide you want to buy that. Look, everybody's having challenges with sleep right now, and using something that is not addictive, that doesn't cause any health problems, and it helps you sleep. I mean, it's really a no-brainer. So if you're interested in finally getting some good sleep, just go to coolheadband.com, like I said before, and you can learn more about it there, and also use the promo code Carter, and that'll give you $20 off. And listen, it's something that you'll actually use. Unlike most of the crap that you see online, this is something I use, and it works, and so you'll be very happy with this. So don't delay or forget about it. Go to coolheadband.com, and it'll redirect you to right where you need to go, and you can get one of these devices for yourself, and then you can get some good sleep tonight. So anyway, take care.